waiting for the drop of the green flag. In towards the starting zone we go, and the action underway at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Look at Justin Rem stretch his legs on the brakes into the opening corner. He's single file. Charles-Etienne Boucher controls the inside and into third as well. Vincent Trepanier boxes out Mobin Khan, who loses out a whole bunch of positions, almost down outside of the top 10, but into the second chicane, single file inside of the top 5, but they're still fighting and arguing over positions behind into the middle sector.
Ran there a little bit, no intent in going for a move. It's too high speed of a chicane. You can't dive bomb someone into that final chicane. It doesn't work. It always involves in a crash. Is there a slowdown penalty? I think there is in the background.
A couple.
I think it might be Mobin Khan. The most important thing is to navigate this this lap 3. Let's see what happened to Enzo Johansson. So it was contact with Kondaccioglu, I believe.
And then one more.
I want to see it from on board of the car behind.
That maybe
broadcast director, set it up.
Maybe asking for too much of the broadcast director, unfortunately. But tell you what, that car behind, good avoiding actions to weave back into line.
You're giving all that time back as we'll keep a look on the battle between Genest, who's on the inside, Moniz going straight around the outside, disappearing, coming back, now giving a little bit of contact. To be fair, that contact, I can completely understand it.
The back straight away. This is where the toe comes in handy, but if Moniz has these internet issues, he might have to be a little bit more watchful. Arnaud Genest decides it's not worth trying to fight it back, and maybe not surprised. He gets a bit wide, though, almost into the wall of champions. Here comes Brody Goebel.
Yeah, indeed. I wonder if race control might step in and say to Moniz, actually, maybe, mate, you might want to back out of this one a little bit. As you know, you're going around the outside of Brody Goebel. That was a nice little hold. There's been a contact as well, just almost on the rear end. Oh, and there's been a slow one from Brody Goebel. Logan Patch is going to come straight back through.
I think there was a bit of contact between Genest in number 69, and so not just Patcher slides on forward, but Ross Booth as well.
That is the end.
It was a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Let's see that. This is the thing, is that Kondaccioglu is given enough room, in my book. He doesn't seem to have the pace of the two ahead of him.
No, he does not. As behind, Thomas Lavar's being kicked off the road, and it's all kicking off then for those in front of him. Mobin Khan, don't forget, slow down on the opening lap, dropped him back considerably through the field. Now finds himself behind Patrick Mason, Richard Quinn, Giovanni Romano, and Jason Stalker, all as Romain Faux becomes the first driver to come down to pit lane. Not sure what's happened there. Christian Moniz has been turned by Arnaud Genest, and it's all kicked off, as mentioned, here on the circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah, Logan Patch sneaks his way through, I think with a bit of a boff as well on the outside of the corner. But let's be honest, as soon as we cut back to that and seeing him too wide going through the exit of 7, that's not working.
So behind is, that's just a bit of a shove from Giovanni Romano, unfortunately. Let's go immediately over then, continue the live replay look effectively, and catch up with Genest. What happens? Now, I'm going to guess, Moniz gets a bad exit here. Is there going to be one of those internet blinks as well? Yes, there is.
But let's see what happens. Obviously, the exit of this corner here, so they work their way into 6 and 7. Logan Patch is diving it in too deep, makes a bit of contact, slows the group down, and Genest goes for a gap, which I can kind of understand why you'd go for, but that gap had only opened up because of contact.
He's up the inside of Arnaud Genest. It's this little battle pack that never wants to calm on down, gets a bit of contact once, twice, and around she goes.
Donk in that code.
Stalker, just as I was saying, the good debut this season. Watch the rejoin there. Tristan Hurl and Thomas Lavoie come on through as he's converted it into GT4 touring mode as the rear wing now shot off the car.
Absolutely eliminate him in the commentary booth when we interview him by saying, why did you qualify?
Especially when we told him, you know, you've got to do the last to first challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't optional. Race and season. That was a much better exit from Etienne Leger. He's just not going to be close enough.
Charles-Etienne Boucher with a slowdown. The brakes light on and Bouclador down to 4th. Etienne Leger runs out of time. A bit of a wry smile on his face for a moment there. There'll be a bigger one on the face of Justin Rem. At the end of the 2024 Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Canada season, it's Justin Rem winning here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve to close out the season in style.
Doesn't seem that bothered by it, but he is going to do some donuts.
Make our way on over to the Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Canada. Here's a look at the results. Justin Rem from flag to flag, albeit maybe with a bit more pressure than he would have wanted. Etienne Leger does enough to, we think, hold on to what should be 3rd in the championship for him. with Vincent Trepigny and then Charles-Etienne Boucher third and fourth. Logan Patcher recovers up into fifth with Ross Booth, Christian Muniz, and then Giovanni Romano, Arnaud Genest, and Curtis Fung making up the rest of the top 10 to close the season out. It's Michael Kondacioglu 11th with Mobin Khan, and then Richard Quinn 11th and 12th, rather 12th and 13th. Patrick Mason, Simon Attrill, Enzo Johansson, Nicky Barovic, and then Felipe Starofoli, and then Jason Stalker, Thomas Lavoie, all still on your lead lap, unlike Tristan Hurl, Brody Goebel, and Romain Faux. 40 minutes thrown onto the Tag Heuer timing clock, and with the green flag in hand, Gagnon Renault holds them for a moment, and away we go. Andrew Caron and Antoine Lacharite maybe neck and neck onto the brakes for the first time of asking. Caron's going to be challenged, Lacharite around the outside, but the Porsche Lozon car defends as well from Gregory Hoverson. Contact behind sees, I think, Richard Hibbs go around, but now as they go 2 by 2 down into turn number 2, 3 and 4, single foul for your leaders.
Alex Ellis, who's up to 14th already. That's a great start from him, and here comes a crash.
That was Roy Windrum, and then a big send as well from that Teal machine.
Just take to serve it, the more pain you have to deal with. Look at this.
Wow, down to 16th as he crawls to a dead stop. This is further back, some moves being made. Alex Ellis charges up into 10th. What a start for him. Climbed 10 positions into the top 10. Spencer Reitzmer's inside of Blake Townend as they funnel off the hairpin. This might actually be a bit more wide open. This is what happened to Richard Hibbs, though. Just gets a little bit of a tap from the 31 of Luke Scavus.
So a gap rather appearing as Antoine Lacharite is going for a move for second position. Big send to the inside. Maybe it is some tyre struggles coming in from Andrew Caron. There is the switch of position. They're going to have a drag race off the corner. Advantage, though, from that will be to the Riversud driver.
Lacharite still got the inside. Caron doesn't want to give it up, though, and they'll squeeze each other side by side. Lacharite almost gets walled into the wall of champions, and here comes Gregory Hoverson. Neither of the championship contenders with much of a reaction on their face, and Lacharite will go the long way around, trying to hold off Hoverson in the Porsche of Halifax car.
Well, this confirms the victory for Gagnon Renault. That is almost for sure, as Lacharite will now drag his way off the corner and will confirm himself as second position. Great move, took too much time, and it's cost them 2 seconds to the race leader. It's complex. Ooh, well, there's a bit of contact.
Just a bit, maybe more than anticipated in terms of slowing down on the apex. Very first time, as Nathan Bartley takes a shortcut and lights up the rear tyres.
Bit of contact with Gagnon Renault. Let's take a look as to what happened to Bartley over battle with Xavier Panicha.
And that is a high-speed moment through turn 1. The battle, but coming out of the final corner here at the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve winning the war, winning the 2024 Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Canada. Andrew Caron crosses the line and is finally on top.
Rev it up, here we go.
Give us trees, there we go.
There we go. Whoever's doing those in the background, 10. I like that, just completely.
And on our 2024 season, after a blockbuster of a race that saw Antoine Lacharite fight his way forward after qualifying down in third, but unfortunately the number 1 machine finishes number 1 in the final race, but second in the championship. Gagnon Renault, second for him in the Porsche Centre North Toronto machine, with the entire centre cheering him on, while Andrew Caron does what he needs to and finishes third and secures the points. Gregory Hoverson, Alex Bergeron, Giuliano Romagnolo, and then Jonathan Houlet, Josh Manalo, Alex Ellis, and Christopher Cook make up your top 10, with, of course, Ellis being your biggest mover, winning the Lego Play Well Award. 3 very, very worthy champions, and, of course, Porsche Lozon win the Porsche Esports Canada Constructors Championship. Charles-Etienne Boucher is your Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Canada champion as well, but we have to, of course, congratulate Andrew Caron as your Porsche Esports Carrera Cup Canada champion for 2024. For our team behind the scenes here that have made all of this possible, for Porsche Canada, for our team at RaceSpot, Lewis McLeod alongside myself, Arjuna Kankipati, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations to all. Enjoy your off-season. We'll be back to do this soon.